Hey there everybody, this is Pastor Charlie. Today is Wednesday the 12th of July and I'm happy to bring here a midweek reflection / challenge to you. On Sunday morning in my sermon I invited our whole church to take on what we call the 2-minute prayer challenge. And I hope that you set your alarm for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday and even Sunday again coming into this week. I hope that you're in the middle of taking on that challenge. It was simple. It was just to set that alarm, settle yourself down, stop what you're doing in the day, and pray a simple prayer. Lord, teach us to pray. Followed by the remainder of those 2 minutes in silence, with just some good, steady breathing and taking note of what we were thinking, seeing, or hearing in those moments. I had my alarm set for Monday morning. It went off. I stopped what I was doing, settled myself into the moment, took a couple of deep breaths, and I prayed that prayer, Lord, teach me to pray. And I just sat for the remainder of that time. Here's the first thing I noticed. The remainder of that time went really quickly because when my alarm went off for 2 minutes, I was like, whoa, what are you breaking in for? I was in the middle of a moment. It was good to stop. It was good to connect my heart to the heart of God in this way. And so I want to say to you for the rest of the week, if you're sharing that experience, don't worry about extending it to the 3 or 4 or 5 minute prayer. Take as long as you need in that moment. What happened for me in that moment was I began to reflect on a few things. I actually had what I would call a bit of a vision in my head that, when you close your eyes and you can see something anyway. And what I could see actually was this space. It was the congregation here. And so I took that as a moment to pray for our congregation. I looked around and I could see the faces of people where they normally sit. I could see some people who don't normally sit in this space. So 9:30 guys, you weren't left out. I was seeing your faces in here too. Then here's another interesting thing that happened. As I began to pray through our congregation as faces came to mind, I also then started to have an expansion of that vision. Other faces came to mind. Faces of people, honestly, who I perceive to have hurt me or harmed me in years gone by. And I took that as a prayer prompt to pray for them, to pray for my own sense of hurt and how I can be forgiving in those relationships. I just felt and wondered, was God doing a work in me in these 2 minutes that I set aside? And then I realized, yeah, God is doing a work in me. That's what prayer's for, isn't it? When we invite God's Spirit to be at work within us, when we talk about the transforming grace of God, that means that something's got to be transformed in there. So if I'm holding on to hurts and not forgiving people in my life, not deep down, then maybe God's transforming work is a space of healing for those hurts, giving me the space to let go of them, giving me the space to forgive a little bit deeper down within myself. So I share that with you today just as an example. That was my own experience. I don't know what your experience has been. I hope it has been something meaningful for you. I hope it has been something fruitful for you. I hope that as you have set aside 2 minutes day and daily to connect your heart to God's heart, that you have sensed God's presence closely. We mean it when we talk about the grace of God and it having an impact on our lives. We mean it when we say that is a lifelong journey. So if we have forgotten how to have those moments, how to sit down, stop and engage with God in those moments, then maybe the fruit of a sermon on Sunday was just to open up a reconnection of our hearts with the heart of God. I hope it's bearing fruit in your life. And I can't wait to hear some of your stories when we get together this Sunday morning. I'll see you then.